Hey, what's up, everyone? It's RanDoM, aka Mark RanDoM. Management and things said maybe we should try different camera angles and or dress code. No, I'm just kidding. I have to catch a plane in like 4 hours at like 5 in the morning because that's just how I live my life. I'm a traveling wanderer and $60 plane tickets. I have to or catch it like a baseball mitt. And funny, we're going to be talking about baseball a little bit later. Just into the context of this, I am so proud of myself that in the other session, if you haven't seen it, did I introduce myself? Hey, what's up, everyone? It's RanDoM. Okay, that'd be so funny if I keep forgetting I didn't introduce myself. So I have to, like, every 10 minutes, hey, what's up, everyone? It's RanDoM, aka Mark RanDoM, rapper, comedian, philosopher, good spirit in the world that everyone misinterprets and will probably spiral down endlessly, crash and burn, and everyone will hate. I am so proud of not proud, but in the last session, again, we're playing the continuity game. I was doing a freestyle and I called myself the Gothic Mr. Rogers, and that's basically what this is going to be. And I figured with my status of doing Mr. Beast like numbers, also like how dress up for an airplane, I think they just did that to flaunt. Like they say, people used to wear suit and ties and a hat on. Do you know how uncomfortable it is to sit in a suit and tie tight on a fucking plane? No, sweatpants and shirt. I always feel like when you're next to an airplane, it's like fate and the universe. And the same thing with Ubers. That's why I always get the most psychotic, Uber drivers with the craziest stories. And again, we're going back to the other session. I give them, if you could change one thing about the world, if you could change one thing about yourself or your life, what do you think of this? What do you think the meaning of life is? I just ask every Uber driver, within context. If it's some 20-year-old girl who's like, I'm working my way through college, I'm like, what do you think of death? I wouldn't do that. But so because I have the Mr. Beast influence and status and things like that, I feel like I should do an episode for teenagers and advice, kind of kids to teenagers. So this is that. I'm going to make up a fictional story so I can relate. I'm going to say I had stepkids for many years, and again, this is fictional. I'm playing a character, and this was in my early 20s. And if anyone ever pieces up the timeline of the events, they're like, wait a minute, that isn't real. Of course, because I'm lying. I just want to relate to the audience. But they be unfortunate circumstances, financial, career, and overall dynamics issues separated us. And I always felt like, almost like, let's say that was the next level of it's hard getting your heart broken from a girlfriend. But then when you're okay with that, your second heartbreak or your third heartbreak, it's all good. So then you get married. Then the divorce is fucking ego crushing, right? So then then you could get through that. So what would be the next is having stepkids of fucking, and then this kid that you are growing and molding and they're teaching you and just for years and years. And then you lose that, anyone who has that story, also the fucking Andrew Tate's biological son, anything, I would fucking put a gun to a person like that, metaphorically, and make them suck my dick right in front of me. I would need a woman, because I'm not gay, to make me come. I'd make them swallow a pistol whip them, blow the top off, so they would still be alive, and they would have that hole in their head because, giving love to someone is a bad thing? Suck a fucking dick. Suck a dick for eternity. I love these kids in this fictional universe, but what I said is I could see someone dedicating their life oh my god, my life, I was fucked up, but this is my one chance to do right, is being a stepfather. Then they lose that beyond their control, despite whatever, I can make more money, or I can get better as a person, or I can help this family die, and they lose it that. I could see a Joker origin story. Not the fucking Joaquin Phoenix, the Heath Ledger. If he just started blowing up buildings and fucking gunning down politicians and fucking setting buildings on fire. And he's like, I was the greatest father. I love these kids and stepkids, and they're gone. It's almost it's not good. So here's the thing with this fictional story. We'll call it Romanic and Vincent, because those, I don't know. It's just... So if they're watching, they probably think I'm fucking corny at this point. Like they probably outgrown me of like, oh, you know, I'm like the fucking, what is that? Like some Nickelodeon shit where it's like, oh, it's cool when you're a kid. I'm an Adam Sandler movie or a Kevin James movie to these kids. I'm like, oh, that was so funny and cool. And I want to be like, he just has that thing. And then they're like, ew, why would you make a fucking podcast about me like some ex-girlfriend who can't get over it? Well, because I love you, I always will, and I will always try to send advice when I can. So my deal in this dynamic was I would always give them advice of like how to go through life, because I've like there was part of me that felt like, oh, the ice is breaking beneath us. I could lose that forever, and I never wanted that, and I am cool. I definitely don't have a fucked up life, but this is the realness now, and I feel like I don't know if that's a Pandora's box. Pandora is an ancient story of like where the box gets opened or they want something in but every fucking thing comes out because, and I'm sure they knew this to an extent, I played a very corny role. I literally was like a Full House type of father to these kids. I would give them lessons. I would treat them to things. I would make very corny jokes. I liked it. It's almost like it was role play. I got to play this like I'm not what everyone thinks I am, and I'm not. So this is the real me, guys. But again, the love is real. The love will always be real. And if I could ever make millions of dollars, I will attempt to find, if they want me to, because again, it's like also it's like maybe they look at me and they're hurt by like what we had, because it's like kids. That's why I think parents who introduce like when they're just fucking around or whatever, and then a person they met for, I was gonna say a dude because I've like women and everything, for a month, it's like that kid is looking for a father figure. That kid is looking for a certain thing. So I would make very corny jokes. I would play up this whole like I'm a factory worker, but again, it's like, A, I want you to do better than me. So I don't want you to think, oh, well, Mr. Mark sold coke in Newark, so it's okay if I do. I don't want that. I don't want this life for you, son. So, but it was kind of fun because they would listen to rap against my begrudgance, because I feel like there's a kid world, a teen world, and an adult world. You don't throw an adult world into the so. But then they would have rap songs of like, I do drive-bys and shit, and he would go, you know, some of these rappers really do that, and I'd be like, golly whiz, how could someone do that? But then the lesson of, well, they're in a different circumstances, knowing fucking 20 years ago I was right in the car with the drive-by, and it was intimidating, scared, because I was a little bitch. Imagine the real story is I was the one who instigated it. They're like, no, it's not worth it. It was only 10 grand. I'm like, no, fuck that. Let's roll on them. I was the driver. I was the Uzi Holderman. Like, I was the over extreme. I was like, now we got to fucking shoot their butt. Nah, I never killed anyone. I can say that, honestly. I mean, like, who would know? Like, if you shoot, allegedly, fictional character Mark RanDoM, that's not my government name, physically shoot, like, you're not going to stand there. What? You're going to fucking speed off in this fiction. So, my love for them will be forever, and don't... God, it's another level of heartbreak. So, the advice I always gave, and I'm just trying to pick out certain things, is always have a goal. Always have something that you want to do in life, whatever it is. If you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a baseball player, if you want to be an auto technician, if you want to be whatever your interests are, line up with a goal and always have that goal. Study that goal, practice that goal, accept that there's going to be successes and failures, but everything is about just getting better. That always thing of like, practice is perfect, but no one's perfect, so why practice? But always have a goal and a focus in life, because that will stop you from doing like messed up things. Because when people kind of drift through life, unless they're like have a good sort of frequency or balance, I just noticed for me, I always had a goal and a focus, and it kept me out of a lot of issues. Again, the reason there might have been only one or two fictional rap songs I recorded about drive-bys and not like fucking 50 is because I was always focused on being a rapper and a philosophical preacher. So always have a goal. have it it doesn't have to be some grandiose higher purpose, but something where you contribute positively to the world. You are here in your existence to contribute positive to the world. And I understand that might be hard if you have a dad that loves you, but he's extremely verbally abusive of you're worthless, you're nothing, you're fucked up. What you have to understand is that's them projecting onto you, because unfortunately they had that incident to them. So it's almost like they hate themselves, like they feel worthless. Because I know, like, hypothetically, kids I've seen, their dad loves them. I know their dad loves them to an insane extent. Like, their dad would be fucking set on fire if this were to save the kids' lives or make their kids' future better. Set on fire, but where you don't die in the fire, where it just goes on fire. I know he would do that. He loves his kids more than himself. But I know he kind of hates himself. He's a great guy, though. That's the thing, is like, when you meet him, he wants to do favors. He wants to help. He, like, despite the whatever, and he just emotional issues and shit. And he kind of rejects the new age sort of men should cry about their feelings. But there is a balance. You don't be a man and hold it in or cry every day. You process your emotions, you move forward, and you do your best to try to maintain emotional control. But the problem is when you have a parent who can't emotionally control themselves, mother or father, mother with, let's say she has a drug addiction, right? Which, in a weird way, oh, random. Your intention is so good for this, to send love and to give advice where you can't, and it's going to turn out so fucking awful. Either the kids are gonna hate you, or the family's gonna hate you, or someone's gonna fucking, you fucking piece of shit, how could you do I'm just trying to be a good person, come on. So maintain emotional control. And I always saw it as a test, because what happens is it's like bullies, and it feels very bad when the mom will lie because they can never admit if they did anything wrong. The dad will feel self-hatred or feel worthless as a parent, which he just needs to know he's a great fucking dad. I've watched him. Great fucking dad. 100% A+, except the fucking emotional outbursts, verbal abuse. If he could fix that, fucking greatest father in the world. And I'll still maintain greatest fucking father in the world. I've seen him, and he probably doesn't even like me, but he is the greatest fucking dad in the world to his kids. And he had a difficult situation. It's financial loss beyond his control, and kind of status loss and industry loss, and it disrupted the kids and then the marriage and everything. So it's not like he had the ideal situation. I understand, like, I could never understand that situation to where I could be like, hey, don't have emotional overreactions. And he's like, my fucking life fell apart. But he had a lot more than me. My life never really was together. So, and that was the other thing, is I never wanted the kids to know how bad of I don't want to say fuck up, but just like what my lifestyle was, because it's not something to reach for. And you get what I'm saying? It's like, you want to be a part of civilization. You don't want to be fucking hanging out with like mentally ill people, crackheads and prostitutes, making money, and possible violent situations. That I've gotten so better at de-escalating and chilling and civility and everything. So go me being a great person. But I don't want that for you, boy, because I'm the gothic Mr. Rogers. But so where the fuck was I going? So it's to keep emotional control of yourself, because that's what life is. Life is things that try to break you. And the problem is when you have emotional outbursts, like maybe they're justified. Maybe people are bullying you. Maybe it's your parents, just, you're fucking worthless. You're never this. I'm doing this and I'm breaking this. And you just explode. Like, you try to keep it in, but it's like, I could never relate to someone who lost emotional control. I mean, well, there's videos of me in like the past 4 years of losing insane emotional control. And praise God, praise Jesus, praise Allah that there wasn't social media in my teens and 20s, early 20s, because I would have never survived. Oh, you said an offensive slur. I fucking allegedly was like, you know what? Fuck these people. It was an abandoned warehouse, but I'm gasoline in this bitch. Allegedly. I'm not a good person. I'm like a Liam Neeson to these kids. If they ever got kidnapped, I would travel to save them, but I would have a really fucked up background. You know, the Liam Neeson, like, he plays these movies where kids get kidnapped and he is like goes selflessly save them and face danger, but he always has some fucked up story, like he drunk drove and killed someone, and then he had to go through the court process and he said fuck that, so he was in prison and got out. Like, he always has this bad background, so he's like, I'm not the best person for the job, but I want you to know I love you. That's what it is to these kids. So emotional control, and to just process that and find a filter that. Like, you notice how I've always been able to remain calm and collected, and even when you guys had outbursts and everything, it was always about giving love. And you notice how I'm always peaceful in resolving things, but all of my songs are about wanting to kill people and kill myself or wanting to do mass destruction. You get what I'm saying? It's like you craft. When you get bad energy, it's on you, and this is what life is about, is it's on you to craft it into a positive. So it's almost like, I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to be, and don't be hard on yourself. That's the thing, is like when you're focused on your goal and you're like, I'm not going to let people lose emotional, I'm not going to let people, because that's the whole thing, is people want to bring you to their level. It's like if someone's bullying you, they're, oh, you fucking suck, you did, is they feel miserable within themselves, and they want to make you feel miserable. And unfortunately, sometimes if that's your parents, but that's because they're a reflection of you. And again, we could get into the Buddhist philosophy of the reason people have that is it reflects something in them that they hate, and that's why they do that. But you don't want to go through your life being miserable and harming other people. Like, you never want to diminish something of like, because you never know their circumstances. Like, let's say they're an Indian salesman and they live out of a motel. You don't want to say, oh, they come from a country of shit, so fuck them. You want to just be compassionate, because it makes your soul feel good. If he's watching this and this is in the wrong mood, he's like, oh, fucking corny. Well, fucking, it's what I have to give you. I'm not... It is what it is. Fuck it. Maybe I don't care about I could always care. That was the thing, is I always love them, and I will never think that they are bad people. And that's something that I was upset with, is their situation always saw the worst in them. And the problem is, it's like the kid was sometimes, like most times, he was a good fucking kid. He was more mature and adult than his parents. But then other times he would be shitty, immature, and an asshole. But then he would lie about it. And then, like, it was a weird situation of them gaslighting him and him gaslighting and lying and manipulating and then blaming each other. It's like nothing ever got resolved. It was just, I call it a fun house mirror of everyone lying about their shitty behavior, everyone blaming the other person, then everyone emotionally bullying the other to trigger each other. So it was that. So... But that situation is resolved. This is long ago, and it's a fictional story I'm making up. So, where was I going? So, to channel that energy into a positive, but to feel good about yourself. Like, the problem is, we all have this internal monologue. Oh, because people always saw him for his shitty behavior. So then the problem is, they would look at him, and I had to tell him, like, again, the boy who cried wolf, it's like, and it's like, no one can be a good person all the time, but it's like, if he was half of a good person, half of a lying asshole, all they would do is see him as that lying asshole, and I'm like, no, he is a good kid. Also, to all the parents out there, what you think and project on your kid, I think, is what they become. Like, if you always look at these kids as like, they're good kids, they can strive better, they made some mistakes, they have some flaws, but they're good kids, they have a lot better shot at being a fucking good kid than if you look at them like, oh, they fucking suck, they're horrible, and then they do good deeds, and then you look at them, oh, you probably only did that because of X, Y, like... Who could relate to that? I couldn't relate to that, because obviously everyone saw me as the shining figure of what a human being is supposed to be, and everyone loved me for that. But no, it's just to watch that happen, to watch the kid do a good deed, because he's a good fucking kid half the time. Come on, dude. Like, don't be pissed at me. You know sometimes you're an asshole. You know sometimes you do shitty things, and then you know sometimes you lie about it. Which, sometimes there are times to lie about. But it's... but then he would like do good things for his parents when they would be shitty to him. He would be cool. It sucks so bad. I don't know. One time his dad was giving him shit so bad, and then he was able to maintain it all day. Bad day at school, bad day with his dad, and then his mom was giving him shit, and he goes, "Look, I didn't have a good day. Could we just please watch a movie and hang out?" Like, he was what, fucking 10 years old at the time. What 10 years old? It's like he had more mental self-awareness, but emotional, and it just, it was so fucking funny. So in a weird way, I felt like I had to overcompensate. Not overcompensate, because it's like just, I never will, and I never will, no matter what. I will never. And again, that goes across the board. I will never, and again, this is to my detriment, but this is why I'm heroic like Batman in The Dark Knight. I will never see anyone that I love as a bad person. I will see mistakes. I will always see they can get better, but I will always see the best of them. So when, hey, professionalism, I'm coughing away from the mic, I'm learning, I'm growing, just as we all are in life, and the continuity of last session, I talked about that. So if you want to see jokes about that, check out the last session. Except the kids that are watching this, don't check out the last session. This is for kids and teenage. I don't know. This is in PG-13 territory. The other ones are, it is what it is. It's all out there now. I'll probably never see you guys again. He lost his stepkids. He loved them. And again, suck a dick, the fucking Andrew Tates of the world. And so I literally would make them suck my dick. Like, people think like, oh, it's a metaphor. Or, oh, just, have I ever done that? I would not say that on camera. If I fucking held someone at gunpoint when I was a teenager because I was homeless and I was mentally unstable, and I tried to piece it up with this kid named, we'll call him Ron Flair, and you're the reason that I got kicked out of one school because you kept bullying me and I didn't do anything, but the teachers already had it out for me. So that, and you did that, I did not, on camera, cock a gun and make him give me oral sex, and obviously it was soft the whole way, and I'm like, if you bite on it, this fucking bullet's going in your Jesus Christ. RanDoM, what the fuck? Like, character, maybe that's necessary. The other session that I can't upload because I don't really have internet, I was talking about dissociative identity disorder. I am not capable of that. I am not capable of that at all. But also, I saved the kid's life from drowning, but that's not a situation I'm going to get into. I think I might have put that on one of the other sessions when I was doing a lot of confectionery sugar and what's the other thing? Flour, like a fucking blizzard, a 6.5 week blizzard, and that's why the session sucked, is it was too much of a party atmosphere. And again, like, music playing, hoser around, everything is what it is, but I'm just like, I just want to focus on music and comedy and philosophy, just a little solitude, isolated person. That's how I am, that's how I always will be, but I will like hang out and everything. So where was I? Emotional control, for channeling it, something better. Oh, you never do that. Like, I don't understand how you could look at a child and think the worst, and maybe that's your own insecurity or projection. Like, maybe you think of yourself as the perfect parent, but you subconsciously hate, so you just look at the kids as like, but it's like, you don't do it, because then you put those thoughts in the kids' heads. It's literally like, if you tell a kid every day you're like, let's say it's a good kid. Again, half a good kid, half of an asshole. You never validate the good. You never say like, well, that's what I always tried to do. Like, when he was he was very good towards his brother, always helping his brother, always looking out for his brother, always taking care of his brother. Then times where he would like just something simple, like he would give his food to his brother. I'd be like, hey, dude, that was really cool of you. Or when he would play with his brother and his brother's being shitty, but I was like, that's really cool of you, which his parents did not validate that. But when he was an asshole to his brother, like his brother's hit, and then he hits his brother back, they'd be like, you see, he just fucking has it out for him. He's jealous, because it's like, A, brothers fight and stuff like that. be like, it's again, it's psychology. It's called golden child and scapegoat child, where it's like in dysfunctional relationships, the one child can do no wrong, the child can do no right, and and they'll always play the story of it's very funny. It's like he was like that from birth. He would just be angry and break things, and it's like, well, what was like, but I was like, okay, what was the situation? No, we were just great parents. I was like, all right, what was the argument about? He was just having an emotion up. Really, you guys just, everything's love, peace, and he has an emotion. There wasn't any, like, it takes two to tango. I used to hate when my parental figure said that, but in a weird way, it's right. Again, sometimes it's forced, like you were literally trapped in a room with someone, but also engaging versus just leaving, which is very emotionally intelligent. Sometimes the kid would just, I need to be in my room, and it's like sometimes there's like a codependent of like them wanting to get him, like they want to trigger him because they feel worthless as a person, so then they want to like then make him feel shitty so they can feel better as a person, and he's trying to just de-escalate and be in his room. So it's like, yeah, at some point he's gonna have an emotional outburst, and look, I'm gonna say you're wrong for that. I'm gonna say you should have better emotional control. I'm gonna say overall, because that won't serve you well in the future, but I fucking understand it. You had more control of yourself than I did. Here I am talking about like when I grew up and everything, like, oh, I had bad emotional control, and then I did because I was fucking crazy on psychiatric medication that was prescribed from my doctor that got me to be well and balanced and never did any drug. This is such a fucking train wreck of like, just like, if I could just cut the pieces of advice throughout this, it would be like a fucking 8-minute session. But it's like, this is just, but again, yeah, the people have some problems. Yes, they can change. Yes, they are good people. Yes, they all love each other. And but to just know you're a good person, because those thoughts bounce around in your head. If you keep, like, a good kid does good things, but you never validate it, but then you validate the bad things, so the kid then tries not to engage, but then it's like that's what creates energetic connection. So it's like you're only emotionally engaging with the bad things. Then you're only saying the kid is bad. What do you think it's going to grow up and do? You get what I'm saying? Like if you only say, you're a fuck up, you do this, you're wrong, you're that, like, you think he's going to be right? You think he's going to be perfect? No, he's going to eventually embody that, and it's just, you just don't do that to project that. So this is why anytime he would say that shit, he would throw something, I'm a fucker, I would look at him and I would hug him, because that's what, and again, that's that old school, you don't fucking do that, but it's like, that's what he said. Anytime a kid is lashing out, angry, they're trying to control their feelings because they feel hurt. They need love at that point. They don't need more hate piled onto it. It's when your children, we're not talking about random strangers in the world, we're not talking about adults. When your own children are having emotional issues, they need love. That's when they need compassion the most. Everyone's like, it's easy to love and be cool and have great times with a child when they're in the best mood possible. It's when a kid is fucking being shitty, when you suck, who are you to tell me you're not my real father? I caught some of those strays. I caught some of those strays. I was like, but I'm here for you, dude. Fuck you. Well, no, I don't think he that was better than me. He never threw a fuck you at the parent. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen them in 10 years, and again, this is just a fictional thing. So, I saved you from drowning, dude. Fist bump. That has to have been traumatic, because it's like he's looking at, no, go back, random, go, see, I don't know which identity is what, but so the kid has to stay with reality sometimes, but then again, it's like, no, you're a good person. No, other people are projecting on you. If someone says you're a bad person, you're a bad person, you're a bad person, that's how they feel about themselves. So they're projecting that. And I could say be the bigger person. I've watched him be the more mature person. if the dad watches this and he's in one of those moods, he could be like, Mr. Mark is right, he could be like, fuck Mr. Mark. I just called myself Mr. Mark. I am not Mr. Mark. I am RanDoM. No, fuck it. Stepdads are temporary. Mr. Marks are forever. Yo, it is so hard to get through this shit without crying. Like this, I'm leaving this as one consistent stream, but it is so fucking hard. It's no, it's harder. Again, you gotta lean into what is not saying hateful shit towards people that I like, other parents I know and stuff like that. So, but it's again, never think of, and just know that they're projecting, and to be more mature, because in a weird way, that's a gift from God. If you have, and again, if you're a father, you love your kid and your kid is just emotionally outbursting, the gift from God is it's like a test to learn emotional control, to break that cycle, because unfortunately his parents never had that, probably because their parents never had that, probably because it goes back of just losing emotional control and projecting their own self-esteem issues on the kid. So is realize, like, if you can learn to be stoic and not emotionally react, you have mastered life. And if then you can look at the good part, you are literally like, you are a deity at that point. If you can not emotionally react to negativity and you can then give positivity and love towards the world, that's literally why there's fucking churches all around the world of Jesus Christ. And they say, what is Jesus Christ? The Son of God, right? What is Jesus Christ? He's love and kindness. So humanity worships a deity because he was kind and he wasn't an asshole when the world was an asshole to him. Like, do you see what the low bar for fucking the human condition is? So yeah, you're a fucking amazing kid. I will never not say that. We all have issues to work on. But again, if he's in one of those moods, be like, well, you do this, I have to say Mark, because I lost that Mr. title. And it was funny because I help out with other kids in the neighborhood and stuff, and they're like, Mr. Mark, that sounds kind of weird. We'll just call you Neighbor Mark. And I'm like, oh, like, everything's downgraded. The Biden economy. No, I don't know. I think it was just pandemic and whatever the fuck. It's everything sunk. People got divorced. People had to downgrade in lifestyle. It's like a metaphorical downgrade of, I had to move to a place that isn't as good as where I live, but I'm very thankful for the place I have. Thank you very much. To the landlord, I love you. You are the greatest spirit I've ever known. Like, in another dimension, great. And I will always love you, and I will do my best to live in honor, but always protect this place. But yeah, so downgrading, my career downgraded and everything. So obviously my status, no. I messed with the timeline. This was 10 years ago. We're talking about the recession in 2009, Obama. That's when I lost the title Mr. Mark, and I haven't emotionally gotten over it for 15 years. That's what we're doing right here. Do you know what? Maybe I say I had stepkids, because if you fucking post pictures of them on the internet, I'm coming to kill you. I will come to your motherfucking house and put a gun to your face. I don't know why it's a gun. I should be more creative. I will put a fucking weed whacker to your face if you ever threaten one of those kids. I will put a crossbow through you if you put a chick. Metaphorically, I'm playing a character, Mark RanDoM, and it'll be so if this clip gets taken out of context and put in some legal sense, policemen and lawyers and judges have to act like, how could you feel violent feelings towards someone threatening children you loved? And it's like everyone has to act like they don't understand that kind of love. But that's the thing, is love has to start from somewhere. And that, so I remember I did this. It fucked my dad's world up. It fucked his world up. Like, fucking shattered him. Just because he was, again, my dad he was a great guy, but he just, like, he was always working. I think because he was insane. So I think his thing was not be around so that, like, I won't damage the kid. But I remember one time, We used to have a thing where shit would just get broken crazy back and forth. So the go-to was the garbage can. First the lights would get broken, then the walls would get broken, then like a banister, then a table, then the last thing was the garbage can. And we would even make a joke of like, because they would be like, one would be like pale, one would be green, one would be red, and then like as we would walk by, we'd be like, so do you want to get blue next time? So what I'm saying is this fucked my dad's world up. So all you kids out there, here's how you fuck with your parents. Here's, if you really want to get revenge on your this is a positive thing, but it's fucking true. Is my dad went off. He witnessed one of his crazy things. I looked at him. I didn't lose. I go, you're a great dad. Why are you doing this? You shouldn't feel guilty about the mistakes you make. You are, and you have to mean it from your heart. I go, do you know I love you and I care about you for how great of a provider you've been and how I've been difficult as a child and you still haven't loved me any less? Fucked his whole shit up. He went and he just walked away. I didn't see him for like 3 months. Oh my God. 4 or 5 months. Maybe it was a fucking year and I'm just lying to the camera. I love my dad. Greatest guy in the world. But so it's like love needs to be reinforced, because I thought about that. Like, that's what happened one time. The kid came in. He was in a shitty mood, just being an asshole. I'm fucking worthless. You all suck. And I was like, hey, dude, chill out. It's all good. You're not worth. And I hugged him. So it's like when your kids are the most emotionally, that's when they need love. That's when they need compassion. It's easy to have sympathy when it's like, oh, he didn't do as well in school. It's when he has the emotional outburst at school that you have to be like, and they're like, no, you have to hard parent. And it's all right. Maybe there's a balance of being stern, because I've had to discipline them. And it was a little difficult to discipline the older one because he was more of his dad. So I didn't want to ruffle any feathers if I was like, dude, you're being an asshole. Stop. Like, go to your room, or like, give me your phone for an hour or stuff. Because kids are addicted to their phone, or you're not going to the party or whatever. Because then like he could either always go to his dad, or he could always play the "you're not my real father" card. I was so afraid of it. Not afraid. It's like, he's right. And it's like I'm low on the whatever. And again, the fucking, it's the Andrew Tate. Yeah, that's the thing. You're the fucking house nanny of the family. Like, that's because you don't know how to love people. That's what that is. All the people who are like, oh, you're a cuck for being a stepfather. No, I just have a better capacity of love and do more positivity and contribute greater things to the world than fucking you do or wherever. So yeah, to the kids out there, this goes for everything, is when there's emotional, out of control, negative energy, that's when love needs the most. So if his dad's throwing some crazy temper tantrum, if that kid said, Dad, I want to hug you because you're the greatest dad, and I see the things you did for me, and I love you, it will shatter him. Dad will fucking probably fall to the floor crying, apologizing, and the kid then you ask for whatever the fuck you want at that point. That's what you do. You maintain emotional control. You do that. Like, kids, this is how you get your, I don't know what, like, I was gonna say episode of PlayStation they're at. This is future. This is how you get your PlayStation 8, right? If your parents have those emotional reactions, you don't react. You just talk about what a great parent they are. You say, I want to hug you. I want to hold you. Like, you comfort them, right? You do that. On the third time, they fall to the floor crying, shattered, just shattered, crying. Oh my God, I have the greatest kid ever. Because again, you don't emotionally react to the negativity. You just give positivity. You just go, I understand the situation you're in is really hard. I love you. I just want to know I'm here for you, and you're a great dad. You do that like 4 times, cries on the floor, it shatters their fucking brain, and then say, I was always looking at that PlayStation 8. I got it for you. Like, just run to the store. There you go. There you go. There's how you, what if this whole thing was this maniacal manipulation? Like, a kid is going to fucking bully his parent into being shitty, then he's going to lie about it, but then he's going to get in the kid's head, and then he's going to practice emotional stoicism at like school or something. And then, if a kid pulls that out, fucking great, because the dad learns a lesson, and the mom, like, there's reasons all right, now it's fucking texts are going to be coming to me. Not text, because again, this was during the Obama recession in 2009, and I'm still not over. Well, then it makes me look like a pussy, and it's lame. Still not over it? Yes, because my love is eternal. This is Mark and Random going back and forth. You decide which one is which. I'm not on that fucking bullshit. One's a character and one's real, though. It's different versions of real. So, where the fuck was I saying? Yeah, so that's how you... The reason I'm talking more about the dad... I've been holding back saying this again. I don't think he would ever watch this. If he does, it depends what mood he's in. Might fucking hate me, might want to destroy my life, or like be cool. But the reason that I'm talking more about the dad is fuck it, man. Let it all. I believe the dad loves the kids and wants better for the kids a lot more. Not a lot more. Let's just say the dad slightly microscopically cares about the kids and loves them more and wants them to have a better future than the mom. They're gonna have to tune in right there. They're gonna fucking. That's what I'm gonna say. Is I'm just gonna do volume like this. The dad loves the kids more. Like that, you know what I mean? The mom and the dad love the kids the same. The mom was more incredible at the stoicism, but she was checked out. The dad was so emotionally involved. The kids were his world. Yeah, so the mom and dad, they did good at co-parenting. So now I'm just going to go down certain subjects like girlfriends, relationships, drugs, peer pressure, things like that. Is quickly, drugs, they don't do drugs. They always say no to drugs, but it's crazy. In all the anti-drug propaganda, I've never seen one that was real, that told like a truth of why you shouldn't do drugs. Coughing away from the microphone because I'm not on drugs. But it's a gateway drug. It'll ruin your life. And yeah, it could ruin your life, or it's illegal. There was a joke as a kid, is they always said, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. And it was small. And then this is a brain. And then they flipped it. What they said is, this is your asshole. This is your asshole when you do drugs and go to prison. It was, dumb prison rape joke. I think they're hacky at this point, but that's because I'm the comedy god. I'm better than everyone else, and I always will be, and I always have been. But the real honest truth, and no one's ever fucking said this, and all the people, you don't do drugs purely because the people you hang out with don't. I mean, South Park a little bit hit it. Like, South Park, that's fucked up. South Park was the best at telling you why you shouldn't do drugs. South Park said, you don't do drugs because it makes you okay with doing nothing. It makes you okay with doing nothing with your life or towards others. My thing, again, I guess that's the medium, the neutral. Mine's more negative, is the type of environment it brings are a lot different type of people that are more, it's more, I don't want to say dangerous, it's just a lot more fucked up. Like, you're more likely to get robbed, you're more likely to get screwed over, you're more likely to get harmed. A lot of drug users are scumbag people, and that goes for every kind of drug. Like, so that's why you don't do drugs is, I mean, not me, because I always was sober, picked up my confectionery sugar and baking utensils, and then would just go back by myself because I was like a spiritualist. Like, I treated no. Save the drugs or spiritual for another fucking session. This is for the kids and the teens. And this does apply to the younger one. We'll call it Vincent. Again, this was during Obama recession that I was the stepfather. Yo. There should, again, I'm doing Mr. Beast numbers in the comments section. Cash App you $5,000 if you can guess what I was thinking right there. I'll do it again. Was a stepfather. I mean, that time it was a little put on, but so yeah. And again, drugs will take you from your goal. And your goal is a triathlon. It's not just so you can do great 1 year, second year, third year, but live life. And that's unfortunately what I've learned in I mean, not unfortunately, it's been reaffirmed, is the individuals that have passed in my life in the last 6 months have lived their lives like they were like extreme sports players. They were coached a wrestling team. They had golfing friends. They went skiing. They went hunting. They would, whatever they want, like they lived life. They felt the experience of life. And do that. Okay, there we go. Fuck. Maybe they wouldn't watch the whole episode. They're like, 20 minutes of a lesson. That's good enough for me. Fuck. But it's like, focus on your goal. But this is something that I had to learn. This is what I learned, is don't let it ruin your present. You have to, they always say it's the journey, not the destination. I fucked up my 20s or early 20s by always focusing on the destination. I would not allow myself to enjoy, because I had this goal. I'm going to perform in front of like 10,000 people at a festival, right? So then I'm rocking a club of like 300 people. It's going insane. But part of me would not enjoy it because it wasn't my goal. Part of me would begrudgingly do it like, it's not 10,000 people at a festival. I'm not a big name. And you never want to let the future goal rob your present. And unfortunately, that's what I did in my early to mid 20s. I was always miserable. I was never grateful. So it's to always be grateful for whatever you're pursuing in life, whatever you're involved in, whatever the goal is, to enjoy it along the way. And that was one of the greatest things. Is I remember one time during the baseball game, wasn't going well, person screaming at him, and I remember I just came up behind him, just started patting his shoulder, like, dude, have fun. You're doing what you love. You're a great baseball player. Smile. Like, this is fucking fun. This is cool. You're in a baseball stadium like this. Have fun. Knocked it out of the fucking park after that. This is when ego gets involved. Oh, what? You think you're a better fucking parent? I don't know why I feel like the whole family would watch this. Oh, God, I'm playing a fictional character. None of this is real. How about this? I'm doing this as community service. So maybe they'll understand. Like, maybe the mom or the dad would get mad at me, or the kids would think I'm lame. But I'm like, no, I don't want to say court ordered. But, so peer pressure is a main thing. Not a main thing. You should peer pressure other people. No. Do you recognize by the cadence of my voice I'm joking? But always be a leader, never a follower. And that's something that it's very hard to do. You will face scrutiny. Obviously, my life went in the other direction. But it's like, if they're like, we're going to go to the woods and start a fire and do, I don't know what drugs these kids do these days. Fucking light glue on fire and sniff it. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, don't fucking do that. And have your pride. Like, don't do it. They'll mock you, make fun of you, and maybe you'll like be a little bit of an outcast. Oh, they're a weird person. And you know what? You didn't want to do it. So don't ever fucking do something you don't want to do, and then kind of take pride in that. Like, I mean, sure, they will mock you and they won't care. And there's that thing for peer accept, which maybe that's why people don't like me, is that brain thing in my brain that cares what other people think or want, doesn't give a fuck. Like, in that situation, I'd be like, all right, guys, suck my dick. And I would just walk away, and then they would be shitty if they saw me later. I was like, all right, suck my dick a second time, because they sucked it the first time because they admired me, that I fucking was my own person. I play by my own rules. No, I meant that seriously too. They could suck my dick. They have sucked my dick. I don't know why that's fucking hilarious. To just say sucking my dick. I don't know. That would suck if they if they took me up on that offer. Hey man, you said peer pressure, or like the fucking bullies that I'm talking about in my past. The bully is like, hey, we tried to peer pressure and you didn't, and you were your own man, and then you said we could suck your dick. They fucking knock on the door at 2 a.m. and are like, hey man, you said you were your own man and we could suck your dick, so can we come in and suck your dick? Oh man, that'd be so fucking funny. RanDoM, you haven't freestyle rapped this episode. Why? Because you don't rap in front of children. You don't rap. It's something you just don't do. You don't rap in front of children. So peer pressure. Take a pride in being a leader. You do your path and take pride in. I know you want friends or people to, but if they think you're weird, like do your own thing. That's the you know what it is I mean, the kid's probably way cooler than me. But I saw some of myself in him. I remember when fuck you. I'm not telling my childhood stories. I'm not giving that away to people on the internet that could use that against me. Fuck you. But to the kids, I love you. But so, you know, like, friendship is strange. Like, some years you have friends, some you don't. And unfortunately, the mom was never qualified to give this because she's like, yeah, I never went through a period where it's like, yeah, because, See, the thing is, I don't want to say, yeah, because every guy want to fuck you. So, of course, they're going to say, hey, you want to hang out? Hey, that was no good for you. Hey, let's, like, yeah, of course, you've never felt like when people just didn't, like, fuck with you like that or they weren't cool. So you're like, damn it, I have no, like, I don't want to say relish. But or again, I could be giving biased advice because I don't have that thing in my brain that, well, no, fuck it. This is crazy. This literally is Mark and RanDoM. Oh my God, I do have dissociative identity. Holy shit. I was talking about like because that's the thing is last session, these are progressive sessions. These are progressive sessions, therapeutic methods to exit my depression by processing a cycle so it can be ending, because I thought the hopelessness and resentment was going to be endless, and here I go again with this and everything, and we can flow to be friendship is. There, you threw a freestyle out there. Now the kids turned it off because they thought it was lame. Fucking check my album then. I fucking laced up a track, 6 minutes straight, quadtuple rhyme schemes, and then I did octuple, which is tens. I go like, what was it? Right shit, hoping it's enlightening, going to all jokes smoking, and my mic rip joking like psychic bolts, like they localists told it. Like, I just did that fucking 10 syllables lined up for 4 bars. I'm a fucking rap person. We all knew what I was going to say. But I didn't want to be lame like some corporate bitch sellout fake who tries to put himself with controversy and names, and that's the only way he can get a buzz and phase is by mentioning 100 names, and of course then you'll say your name back and say praise, and then some will hate because that's a polarizing thing to state, and then there we can go and express your pain, and then you can go back and be fake, tell them you're real, and treat them like you can relate, and who am I talking about in this state? Imagine if the rapper that I'm talking about fucking dissed me like crazy for that, and I'm like, no, that was just a dumb freestyle that I was doing for teenagers. The thing if I got in a rap beef with him is he has like the fan thing of like they just favoritism. I would fucking flame him. I would torch him. It would be awesome. So I don't want to say take pride. Again, this could be biased because I have the thing. Yeah, like last session I talked about like, oh, when you wanted to be belonging and that, and then it didn't work out, to where it's like I almost like an ego. I kind of enjoyed the fact that I didn't go with the crowd, that I did what the fuck I wanted, that, yeah, people mocked me, but that made me stronger. Yeah, people hated me, but it made me cooler to some people. And I don't want to, again, ego of if people love you for a thing and people hate you for a thing, it's like the same people who love will then turn to hate. So it's like you get what I'm saying? So you take criticism of like, okay, but you never let them affect your own internal emotion. You are your own best friend. And that's the truth. So when you don't give in to peer pressure, and if everything, because teenagers have a thing about like sex and girls, so that's what I'm going to get into next, and it's lame, but it's like if you're like you hadn't had sex and everyone else has, and for whatever reason there's that ego status, oh, they mock you're a virgin, and girls look at you weird, just be like, yeah, I'm a fucking virgin. Haven't had sex yet. Like, whatever. Like, again, I was just going to say, tell them all to suck your dick, but then it's like one of the fucking people knocks at the door. That's the crazy shit. Is I have rap songs. I definitely have other sessions. I've definitely done podcasts where I was like, they don't like it. Fucking suck my dick. Imagine a door of fucking thousands of people that I've told to suck my dick. They're like, yo, RanDoM, you said we could suck your dick, and I was like, no, you. All right, come in, you guys. I'm just kidding. All those fucking bullies and other comics and all those other people I told to suck my dick for years is y'all can suck my dick. And in the rap songs, fucking people in my teens and fucking people that were mean to me and shit, and then alleged legal officials and industry people and things like that. I was like, yo, y'all could suck my dick. They're coming to the door and they're like, you said we could suck it. And then I'm like, in an awkward then I look at the line and there's thousands of them, and then I fucking keep going out, and then it's like they had a whole parade. They needed security because there was a line. They needed tickets to people that paid online to actually want to suck my dick. And why? And then I make $1 million and try. I'm not going to go down that rhyme scheme. That scheme of rhyme. So take pride in, like, you be your own person. Don't let other people fucking affect you. Like, yeah, you had a virgin. That's the weird thing, is it's different with guys and girls. It's like girls, I mean, I don't know how it is now, but like in my day, it's like girls had to like lie if they had sex or wanted sex, and they were virgins, but the one who was a slut would get scrutiny, where guys, it was like the guy who had sex or whatever. So we're going to talk relationships now, or just sex. Relationships, that'll be another thing. So if guys have this natural thing where they feel like they have to achieve sex. They feel like, oh, it's a game or whatever. And then the problem is it becomes an ego thing where they're peer pressured. Again, that sort of thing. Oh, you didn't have sex yet? Oh, you're not worth, like, guys are lame in that aspect, to put the ego. But so if you find a girl and you like her and you go on dates and you feel that feeling and you communicate well with her and you guys hold hands, like communicate that they feel the same feeling. But then again, women at that age could like stuff. And then again, there's other people that put stuff in his head, like narcissistic. Well, because you're better, you're the this, you're that. It's like, no, just like kindness. And again, the fucking old generation, you're a fucking pussy, you think. No, just be chill. The reason I've the reason I've had the sex that I've had in my life, a lot of it, more than that, was again where I knew I shouldn't engage with people. If they think you're lying or they think you're trying to impress, I should never engage with those people. But the reason I wasn't hard for me to get sex from a woman to have sex with a woman I liked was because I was just cool about it. I was like, oh, hey, you're cool. Oh, okay, we're doing this thing. All right, that, like, and so you don't want to have the need for it. It's like a psychic game. Like, if women know you only want to have sex with them, it shuts it off. But if women feel like you don't want to have sex with them, but it's weird because it's your own biological thing. So it's, again, that's where the emotional connection comes in. If you guys are on the same level, if you like the same stuff, you're going to a movie together, right? And then you go back to their place or whatever, and then you just, if it feels right, do what you got to do. Like, I cannot fucking, this was the tap dancing wire, is when it came to the talk, is the fucking trip wire, like the Mission Impossible, that me, again, because not being the biological father, the words I had to say and use of like, to not fucking end up in some fucking like To Catch a Predator. You were talking to a 12-year-old boy about penetrating a woman, a 12-year-old girl. Like, no, you don't understand. He had a girlfriend and he didn't know what to do. Oh no, I just fucking set out a thing for pedophiles. Now they're like, no, I was trying to teach. Well, no, it's in context. If I went to a stranger the young 20-year-old boy, and I was like, hey, talk about, but it's like, if I'm in this family and they're under my roof and we're every day, and then they have questions about girlfriends, again, the tripwire of, when you feel that feeling, and when she feels it, and then you communicate that same feeling, and then you want to take it to the next level. And the number one thing, and I wish I could get this to guys across the world, is if you have sex with a woman. I was about to say, if you fuck a woman. I'm lying. I was actually about to say, yo, if you smash. Yo, if you hit. Just keep getting progressively more immature when I'm trying to give like the most mature advice. Yo, when you beat. Yo, when you smash. Yo, when you hit. There's a song. There's the chorus. Like, that was the verse. There's the chorus. Yo, when you hit. Yo, when you smash. Yo, when you beat. Yo, when you pound. Yo, when you... No, but never fucking tell any guys, because it just makes the woman feel a little uncomfortable, because it's a very intimate thing. But again, I don't know how maybe kids just do it all willy-nilly these days, but it's an extremely intimate thing that a woman and you together, and I know, feminism equal, but there's a lot more of an emotional thing, like just biologically, for a woman to have sex with a man than for a man to have sex with a woman. So as a guy, if you and a woman smash, if you smash burger, that was, should I say this? I don't know how old the kids are now, because they were kids during the Obama recession. That was, all right, I'm writing fictional. That was the code word. All right, there we go. That was the code word of, I would say, hey, do you want to get smash burger tonight? To the mom. And that meant, like, hey, when the kids go to bed, are you... Oh, man. I just imagine them like, oh, like, but just, it is what it is. Fucking, again, this is not Mr. Mark. For now is gone. Maybe he'll come back, but this is random. This is Mark. This is my heart and soul, my love for you. It's real, but this is what it is. So, never tell any of your guy friends, and I swear it's true. The woman will look at you differently, and she might not let you have sex again. She might let you have sex. It's such a weird thing. People should have sex like because they like each other. She won't trust you enough to have sex with you again. So what feels better? High-fiving your guys of, oh, I got laid, I'm the air quotes man, or putting your dick inside a chick and watching her moan right in front of you and then busting a load. Pre-ejaculate inside of a woman with an erect penis. No, it's you come inside with a condom. We're gonna get to that later. But there are a decent amount of times where I've been made fun of for being a virgin, because I would go with the girl, right? And then I'd be like, no, we didn't have sex. You always want to protect the woman's reputation of because it's a like politic thing. Because again, like fucking the high school cheerleader, everyone thinks she's popular. The fucking gothic outcast who seems like he has issues, and she's like, yo, I want his dick so bad. But the politics of it, and it is a little lame. They're like, oh, we heard you hung out the other night. What happened? And it's funny because it's like there's this instinct of guys want to tell other guys because it's like some weird bonding thing, but I was never with that. And I messed up. There was times when I was like 13, I said like, oh yeah, we had sex. And I realized the woman was hurt. And I felt like, oh shit, I shouldn't have did that. Like, it's like when she came to my locker and she goes, how could you tell people? And that's when I was like, oh, it's a different thing. Because in my stupid mind, again, women have to give sympathy for men that men don't know women. Men and women need to communicate, and it's not through reading internet meme about the other person being shitty and sucking. I thought the woman would be like, yeah, we had sex. And me be like, yeah, we had sex. Like, I didn't know it was a different thing for a woman. So she came to my locker, was like, how could you fucking tell people? And obviously, we still hooked up and had sex. No. See, you get that I'm joking with that tone. No, but she broke up with me because I told people we had sex. So that's when I realized. So in my high school experience, when it's the fucking cheerleader, the fucking straight A student, and they're like, oh, we heard you hung out. What did you guys do? And I was like, we just watched a movie. And they're like, ha, you couldn't get laid. You have no game. You fucking suck. Oh, and it's like, again, that goes to the peer pressure thing. I don't give a fuck what they think. They can that. But also, I had an enjoyable experience with that woman. So it's like, what would you rather have? The instant gratification of a guy's high-fiving you because you had sex with like a hot woman, or continue to have sex with that hot woman going back and forth? You get what I'm saying? So, and it's also like, I like that it was like a secret. It was just between me and her. Unless imagine she tells her fucking friends, and then I'm like, how could you tell everyone? I have to keep my image as the gothic fuck-up kid, the gothic mentally ill fuck-up outcast, and now you're telling people I'm with high school cheerleaders? How the fuck could you do that to me? Oh, man. That I should do that. There we go. Feminism, modern times. If there's some kid and you're an outcast or you're a little weird and the high school politics are the most popular girl has sex with you, go to her and be like, how the fuck could you tell people? I have to keep my image as the high school fuck up. How could you ruin that for me? But that's what that story is. So don't tell if you had a woman, or don't. It's just not cool. And sex shouldn't be about an ego thing, you know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be oh, I got laid, that makes me, and that is the grossest thing to me about guys, is they see sex as this like ego enhancer. Like, if a guy has a lot of successful sexual encounters with a woman, guys will then look up to that woman. Dudes fucking look up to Andrew Tate, who obviously has repressed homosexuality, because they think he has sex with a lot of women. So it's just lame. It's focus on your goals. Don't be afraid to be different. Don't give into that peer pressure. Don't, tell. And the number one thing, and it's as simple as this, is use a condom, because, again, that goal, that peer pressure, all of the things will detract if you have a fucking, what's it called, like a premature baby or whatever, 20-year-old, and then you're tethered to that woman for the rest of your life. And so many fucking teenage pregnancies, again, the moral decline of the system of having shows like Teen Moms run for seasons makes it seem like, oh, it's natural to be fucking 18 years old and pregnant and shit like that. It's like, you don't want it. Fucks your life up. It sucks because it's very funny to talk to people who had kids when they're young, because they do have this resentment of, I had to live my life and grow in this, and it's like, but it was meant to happen to a kid. So you have to use a condom. You have to. I know you're like, I know it. They always say, I mean, I don't know, these girls might be on birth controls if she has an IUD. Like, me personally, the type of lifestyle I live, I'd be like, all right, I need like a fucking, I need a miner's hat and a flashlight to see if you have an IUD, because I don't want to bust inside you, and then I don't want you to be getting these $80 in food stamps. Imagine that. Fucking chick turkey based me, right? Put my cum out, and then she puts it in, turkey bastes it inside her, and then she sues me, and she goes, now I get half of his food stamps. Oh man, that's funny. So, but you always use a condom because you don't want to have a child prematurely, and don't tell any, I mean, maybe negotiate with the woman. Hey, can I tell people we're an item? Or no, just let people think, because what you have is better than that. But again, don't let that woman distract you from a goal. There are many guys who could have been successful athletes or successful scientists that they let some pussy get in the way of it, and it destroyed them because then they resent the woman. And I guess maybe that was my own thing, is maybe that's why a lot of women either liked me, or is I always had my focus. So when I'm with the girl and we're having sex and we're then in a relationship, at a certain point, if I felt I wasn't striving for my goals, it's like I have to do that. And so it's like, you never, and this sucks because it's a biological thing, is you never want to, I don't know, maybe I'm just biased because I always feel like every relationship turns to misery, but you don't want that to be the case. You don't want that, like, you have any fucking control of who you meet and what you grow. And meeting people, I believe, is fate. So you're supposed to learn and experience from them, and then not attachments. Again, that the Buddhism of human interaction, that was in the past, or the past session, so you have to watch that. I should tag that if I had any type of social media skills or knew how to do that. And then the last thing is, you have to get tested here and there if you're with a lot of partners and stuff. And this is here. It's a cliffhanger. I'll say this is: should you wear a condom during oral sex? Is past the end with Mark and RanDoM. Stand-up comedy special. Mark RanDoM presents Hebrew Messiah. Seriously, this is comedy. It's hilarious. You know, I rented out a venue, got metal bands, rappers, and again, I did jokes about, it's not like, oh, shock for shock's sake. I did jokes about trans, mass murder, mental illness, Holocaust, slavery, history, genocide through history, extermination, religion, Zionism, Judaism, Islam, human condition, but it's trans, pedophiles, rape, and things like that, but it's for a purpose. Like, there's an overarching message, and it would suck so bad if no one saw that. Kind of like how everyone just sees the surface value, they don't look deep and see a message. So if everyone fucking saw, like, if everyone didn't see the message, just went over their head and they just saw surface value, oh, just rape, murder, genocide, slavery, and I just recorded my own hate crimes. I just spent thousands and thousands and a lot of thousands of dollars and like financing my own hate crime. But it was a crazy night. Shout out to everyone that performed. And then music album, We Are All Mark RanDoM. The first one is a concept, and it ties together. As the second one is We Are All Mark RanDoM 2, parentheses, We Became Mark RanDoM, which is basically, unfortunately, like I said, is the world kind of became me. Everyone's on some, like, conspiracy, psychosis, mistrust of the government, feels like life is ending, fatalistic, feels like everyone's out to harm them. And that's who I was as a teenager in my early 20s, and everyone thought I was crazy and weird, and now everyone's caught up to me. I mean, they're not fully caught up to me, but it is what it is. So the first album is conceptually, again, the theme of both of them is what you want your life to be versus what your life turns out to be. And I put an indie film out. It wanted to be a comedy of a coming-of-age drama, and then it has this meta, like, comedy within a comedy thing. I think it's called, because I always wanted to make, like, a holiday comedy, like a Harold and Kumar or whatever, but it didn't turn out that way. It just turned out weird. It could literally be listened to as a podcast. It calls It's a Mark RanDoM kind of Christmas holiday extravaganza miracle Hebrew Messiah. And then novels that I published, and then there's got to be something else. I don't know. This noncast. So, to the kids, I hope you get the message. I love you. I care so deeply. Again, it's weird, like a relationship. Kids, they're adults now. They're adults. Oh my God. Holy shit. I just made a podcast talking about loving kids Jesus. This is... You know what? Fuck it. I'll take the heat. I'll take that. I'll take everyone. He just made an hour show about loving kid. No, 2 kids that I was fucking a stepfather. I was, oh no. No. The context of fuck. I was fucking no. Oh no. Now I'm going to end up on Wilkos. Now fucking Chris Hansen's going to come to the door. Chris Hansen's going to come to the door. I heard you said I could suck my dick. No. I said it in my head, but I did it. The fucking context, I get it. We have to be protective and think everyone's a pedophile. Oh my God, he's talking about kids he loved. No, they are 2 specific kids. That one I knew since he was 1.5 years old, and the other that I knew since he was 7 and till 16 years old. And now, because it was in the Obama recession administration, they are probably in their 20s and 30s. So this inspired me to make a message to teenagers and kids, 18-year-old teens. Motherfuck, I fucked up so bad, because it's like, now I said I love kids. But it's a family thing. It's a motherfuck. Every kid I'm talking about is 18 years old. Like, now I have to do the fucking To Catch a Predator shit. I'm talking to an 18-year-old kid. Jesus Christ. The whole world is the motherfucker. I'll take it. You know what it is? Fucking everyone can hate me. You know what? Anyone who's like, oh my God, he just made an entire session about it was advice and love, but fucked up jokes towards kids and teenagers talking about, and then they think I'm the worst person in the world. How about this? The message to me is better and more heartfelt. So all of those people could suck my dick too. So everyone, and then they knock at the door. And so there you go. We're doing a great callback. Should you have oral sex without a condom? Check out more sessions of Past the End with Mark and RanDoM. MarkRandom.com. I love you.